guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing the next update to my Pan That palette series. So if you're not caught up on this series, I would recommend that you click the link up. I've got my side again, I think it's up here. Click the link up here to catch up with the videos. I am panning two palettes this year, one face palette and one eyeshadow palette. So if you guys are all caught up, then I think we should just get started. So I think I'm going to go first with my Decay Naked 3 palette. That is the eyeshadow palette that I'm panning this year. I have been working on this since last November and it's been officially my Pan That palette for about 8 to 9 months now. So we've got a lot of working on this palettes that I've done, but the progress is slow. It hasn't been crazy or anything. I'll also just let you know that my aim from last month was to use all of my shades at least once, which I did manage to do for this palette here, besides one technically, but I already had pan on it, so I was less inclined to use that one as much because it had already hit pan. So I will put in the progress pictures now so you can see how far along I've come. So here is what the palette is looking like now. So you can definitely see something very exciting in here, which I will mention in a second, but just gonna work my way through this palette and talk about it. So the first shade here, Strange, I had already used that one up. The shade here, Dust, I'd already hit pan on, but I did use this one 3 times this month and expanded the pan slightly. Depending on whether I have a shade, an inner corner shade in my Pan Those Eyeshadows palette, or other projects that I'm working on, I will not be using this shade, and if I don't, then I will just default to this shade. So you can see I've expanded the pan a little bit in there, which is nice. Then we have the shade Burnout. So I've used this quite a few times this month. I mentioned it fully in my A to Z project pan update, so if you want to know more about this shade and the shade Liar down here, I talk about their proper uses in my A to Z project pan because they're in there. This one, I don't remember exactly how many times I used it. I think about 20, just because I change my spreadsheet based on the A to Z project pan, and I don't keep like 2 records of this one, so I only have the numbers from there. So since that project started, I've used it 34 times, so you can see there is definitely a dip forming in here. I don't know how well you can see. I use this kind of on the inner part of my lower lash line, and it's a really pretty little sparkle. I don't think I'll be hitting pan next month, but you can definitely see a dip kind of in the middle space here, so I think maybe by the end of the year, hopefully that should have a pan in it. Then the shade Limit we had already used all the way up. The shade Buzz I just used one time, I believe. Yeah, so I just used that one time this month. It was a really pretty on the lid. They work much better with glitter primers. I now have a glitter primer, so these shades are performing much better, which I enjoy. The shade Trick, I again already had a pan on. I didn't actually end up using that one this month, but I will make an effort to use it next month. The shade Nuna, which we can definitely see has the most progress. I have now hit pan on this one, which is super duper exciting. This one took a while. This took 13 uses since the last update, I believe, to hit pan. So yeah, I was just using this with a kind of slightly more narrow brush. I'll grab it because it's here. It's just the end of the Naked Choke brush. It just looks like that. So I've just been using that, dipping into there. As you can see, there's definitely a more of a circular dip, and I've been taking that on the outer part of my lower lash line, and I think it works really well with Burnout. So yeah, very happy to have hit a pan in there now. So that's another pan in this palette, which is exciting. The shade Liar, I believe I just used one time. I've used it 2 times in my A to Z project pan, so just not very much. The shade Factory, I think it was last month that we had that little incident where part of the shade fell out, as you can obviously see. Yeah, it just fell up there. That wasn't through use that I've got that much used up. Shade Factory I used once this month, not very much, just for a little look. Same goes for Mugshot and Dark Side. These are both pretty untouched. I used them both once this month, very, very lightly. Then the shade Dark Heart, we've got a little bit more of a dip. I use a very small pencil brush to use this as a tight liner and line on my waterline. So I use this one on 3 times this month, so not very much, but you can definitely see a dip starting to form more clearly there. So yeah, that is the progress for this palette. My aim for next month, I don't think we'll hit another pan, but I'm hoping to expand the pan in dust, maybe so it's kind of as wide as the dip is now, and then just use the rest of these shades 2 times next month, and hopefully come a bit closer to pan and dark heart, because I think that's the next one I'll be hitting pan in. So yeah, that is the progress for this palette. And now for my kind of face palette, I've got these shades separated because I depotted them into my singles palette, but this is just the Tanya Burr Beautifully Defined palette, and I will put in the progress pictures now. So the shade Silk Pajamas, unfortunately I didn't use this any time this month, even though I aimed to use it at least once, but I'm going to make an effort for next month to use this at least once, hopefully. It's just this shade here, it hasn't got very much progress on it. Then we have the shade Baking Brownies. I use this in my eyebrows, and I've used this one 22 times this month, and this is what it's looking like now. So it's definitely nearly done. I think maybe I've got 2 more months or so on this. Really making a lot of progress, and it's very crumbly shade because I didn't repress it with alcohol, I just repressed it like with pressure. So yeah, that is what it's looking like now. 22 uses last month, so definitely use that one a lot, and hoping to get some more progress on it next month. And then the one I'm most excited about, we have the shade Champagne Shimmer, which is the highlighting shade, and this is what this one is looking like now. So I think last month these were both conjoined and I wanted to kind of separate them out. Now you can see that's definitely happened. So next month I think my aim is going to be kind of working down this middle part here, so hopefully anything above this kind of line is gone, and then I can just work on either side in the next 2 months, and then hopefully this will be done before the end of the year. I'm really hoping. I've been working on this one since June last year, so for about almost 18 months now, so definitely a long time. But yeah, starting to finally see the last of this one. So yeah, that's definitely an exciting update. I want to continue to use the highlighter almost every day if I can. I've used it 16 times this month, so not a lot compared to how often I was normally using it, but that's, I got a few new highlighters and I was away for a week, and I didn't want to bring this because it would probably smashed up on the plane, so I didn't want to risk it with that. But yeah, so for next month I'm aiming to use all of my Naked 3 shades twice, continue to use my highlighter and brow shade every day if I can, and use that Silk Pajama shade at least once, hopefully. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like down below, hit subscribe, turn the bell to join a little club. If you want to check out my main channel, my social media, or any of the palettes I've mentioned, it will be linked in the description. And if you want to watch my other videos, there'll be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as well as a load linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!